Hello, my name is Colonial. Welcome back for another episode of Ep34 as German Empire. In previous episode, we decided to give a bit of a hand for the Swedes, as well as a few other things. It's been a few days again since the last recording, so I might be misremembering things. But yeah, so let's just get started. We've got still a bit of a deficit in money, but we can still increase the investment pool usage quite a bit. But we're starting to get to the point where we don't really have a whole lot of workers really available. I mean, we might have a little bit in Africa. We also need to get a whole lot more electricity built. That's going to be very crucial. Now, to be fair, we are just a few months away from getting the malaria prevention, which means that our colonization in Africa is going to kick up a notch, well, a few notches probably. We're also going to be getting some mechanized farming and things like that. Also, the telephone is going to be quite handy. Oh, and there we go. Sweden won their revolt. We're also giving a hand to the Dutch with their revolt over here, which hasn't really kicked in yet. Also, there's also the Russians are helping in here, apparently, for whatever reason. So I think this is going to be fairly quick war. We've got like, I guess we've got the second army also heading in there. Actually, I'm just going to demobilize that. I don't think we actually need more than one army. Actually, there is quite a bit of troops in there, but we've also got a load of Russians in here, so I think our troops... I'm just going to go ahead and defend. I try to reduce the casualties. I think we might actually want to stop expanding too much or fighting too many wars right now, because the casualty numbers are, while they're not huge, it is having a bit of an impact on the growth speed that we have right now. So I'd rather not... Oh, and there's the war. I'd rather not waste too much manpower in fighting unnecessary wars. We'll still have the army in there just in case. Turn of the century. Celebrate the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th, the massive Ferris wheel has been constructed in Berlin. From its pods, the fireworks of the New Year's can be seen all across the grand city of Berlin. So we can get legitimacy, which would be actually quite nice, and more loyalists, or we just get more loyalists. I'm going to get the legitimacy, actually. It's not quite enough to get to the next tier, but it's not too far off either. Looks like the Dutch and the Russian... Oh no, we got some of our troops in this battle as well. We've got a decent attack value there, not necessarily the highest of the bunch, but it's a decent amount. Regardless, we're taking some casualties in there. Also still, okay, so we're losing a bit of money, but we still got 44 million in the cash reserves, so we're not too worried about that. There's a bit of navies in here, though. Maybe we'll go ahead and probably just intercept in there, really. They seem to be trying to raid convoys or something, I think. So we'll just need to protect our convoys a bit. Oh, and there's the battle. And yeah, that is completely wrecked. So is there... Who are we fighting, actually? Also, the New Piedmont. Oh, I didn't realize they joined in this one. But they did. Alright then. We do also have a fleet over here that we could probably just go ahead and send into... Maybe... do a bit of convoy raiding at the Gibraltar. We do, of course, control Suez as well, which is another place that we built up. Although it's not really much of a build-up. Did we... Oh, right, we don't have the population really there to keep the Suez Canal fully employed yet. There's a bit of peasants, but that's about it. We could probably go ahead and get some... Actually, is there anything that would really make a profit? The iron mine would be somewhat profitable. It's not like a huge, but it's nearly 10 productivity, which isn't like a disastrous by any means. So yeah, let's get an iron mine in there. Basically, we're going to provide some jobs in there so that that's going to start pulling in... Oh. Norway is in default. Alright then. Oh, and there we go. The Swedes are now attacking the next battle, so we are slowly winning. Oh, right, it's the Sardinian Piedmont's armies that we're fighting in here for the most part. Well, that does make sense. Standard living is still 18.1, which is fairly decent. Population is hopefully growing still at a fairly good speed as well. Now, I would like to eventually switch away from the migration controls, but right now, if we try to switch for the no migration controls, that would radicalize a lot of groups. Well, actually, just the rule folk and the evangelical church would be radicalized. Armed forces would be very upset about it. Oh, Prussia is embargoing us. Do we still have trade routes that we're actually... No, we don't actually have any trades with them. We could probably go ahead and cancel trade with Occitania, though. We do have a few places that don't have the... Oh, and Art Nouveau. We have a new artistic style inspired by nature, imitating the scenic curves of plants, rivers, iron, and glass to convey the contradictions of progress as it reached Berlin's highest spheres. North Germany becomes obsessed with fine art. That's going to be building throughput for 5 years. Or, you know what, sure. How bad is the deficit of art now, then? I suspect that there's probably going to be a little bit. It's actually not that bad yet. And I don't recall if we've gotten the higher art production already. Hold on a minute. Oh yeah, we got the photographic art already. And I don't think we're actually getting the film. Well, it's not that far off. But we're not actually researching that quite yet. But we could research that soon-ish. Maybe we'll just add that to the queue. But the malaria prevention is going to be done in a few weeks. So that's going to speed up the colonization in Africa drastically. And thus making our life a lot easier. Because we can then take over much more of the inland here. Get decent built materials. Well, of course, eventually turn this into Congo. But right now, we're going to hold on to it. Alright, that reminds me. We did want to get a war with North Cameroon or Douala at some point to get both of these states from them. They can still colonize a bit more in here, which we can then eventually conquer. But that's hardly an issue. Oh, Britain is fighting Zulus. I'm going to declare neutrality. Well, I could try to interfere with that, of course, but I don't think that's a good idea, quite frankly. Oh, there's the malaria prevention. And we can actually increase colonial affairs by another level, can we? Yeah, we can. We've got enough bureaucracy for that. Well, let's get that to level 5 then. Yeah, I don't think we're going to increase anything else right now over there, but that should then speed up the colonies growing. Oh, joining the scramble for Africa. I think we've been there for a while, but sure. Oh yeah, now that's pretty good. Actually, it's reaching the max growth right now. So perhaps we should go ahead and start colonizing another state here. For example, that one. We could potentially colonize part of this as well. Are we actually... Yeah, we can still colonize another one. Because we're hitting the max capacity. I guess we'll just colonize everything in here. Do what the British do. Ooh, and submarines unlocked. Oh, but the submarines, those are a different... this is like the support vessel, right? Yeah, they're a support vessel. Which I'm not necessarily opposed to building at least a few. Problem... Oh, right, we need radios for that, and we can't produce radios quite yet, can I? Don't think so. Let's double check. I think we don't have the... First we need the telephones and then with the radio, so yeah, we can't do that yet. Until we get a few more research. But what's the next thing that we're researching? It's the mechanized farming. After that, it's going to be telephones. Then electric railways to get a lot more engines. And then radios. And then there's conveyor belts, which is also going to reduce a lot of labor need for factories. Which I think is going to be very much needed. And what's the scramble for Africa? Oh, 95% of state regions in Africa must be completely owned by any country with a capital outside of Africa. That's about any country with a capital outside of Africa or a recognized power in Africa. Well, I'm sure that we'll be colonizing fairly quickly in here now. We'll be having another border with Britain, though. But that's kind of unavoidable, really. But yeah, we are... Oh, what's that then? The Steam Omnibus. The government regulations make mechanical propelled vehicles loosening, and more efficient steam engines being developed. Steam-powered transport buses have begun to roam Brandenburg with greater frequency. Consumption tax on automobiles or urban centers. You know what? No, we'll just get the urban centers through it right now. We don't really need more taxes. We've still got 46 million gold reserves. So even though we are, technically speaking, losing money, we're still selling so much of the buildings to the private... side of the economy, so that we're not really losing any money. And the private, or the investment pool is still at almost 30 million as well, so we could still increase the construction speed, mind you. Let's actually have a look. If we were to do that, that would be in here, isn't it? Yeah, construction sector. Where do we have? I'm gonna filter with the peasants, just so that, because that is a guaranteed way to know that there is still workers available for stuff. Otherwise, there might not be, and then we go with that. I suppose we'll go ahead and build a few more in Franconia. I'm going to build 5 in there. So I'm going to go and get those to the top of the list. It might increase the construction cost for us a decent bit, but it's also going to be increasing the total construction by another, let's see, at least 70, probably 80 or 90, somewhere around there. And always still falling... Oh, right, but we have conquered the areas in here. Where are we going now? Oh. I didn't realise that that's a bit of a long distance. I guess we do have a bit of front line in here. Alright then. Well, looks like the colonization over here. I think Congo is almost fully colonized now. And I think we are still... Yeah, we're still hitting the max growth over here. Alright then. I suppose there is also... Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Do we have... No, we do have an interest in North Africa, but why can't we colonize this then? Is there a claim over here or something? Oh, Morocco's got a claim, so we can't do that, because Morocco is alive. Oh, we need to fight Morocco to get rid of their claim in there. Alright then. Oh, there's a bit of an army moving through. The Great Garment Factory fire. Oh dear. We get some more radicals, but Petit Bourgeois have become more powerful, or they lose some power. At this point, they can lose a bit of power. I'm kind of thinking that we may need to get the trade unions in power, at least for a moment, so we can get rid of the child labor, so that we can reduce mortality, and we can increase the education investment further, because right now we are still stuck at level 3, which means that we won't get the educate or literacy rate much higher than what we are already. It might still go up a tiny bit, but there is a bit of a limit that we are hitting. Ending the slave trade. Taj, leader of the trade unions and a well-known opponent of the global slave trade, argues that our colonial ambitions in Congo should be leveraged towards ending the practice on the continent. We have a duty to end slavery wherever our power reaches. So for 9 years, colonial growth generation... Oh, and growth speed, that's pretty good. Practical diplomacy must subside such moral sentiment. Interest approval rates goes down. All plantations... No, I think we're going to go with the colonial growth in here. That's admittedly hitting a very much a limit, though. I don't suppose there's... No, we can't really go for any other coastlines right now. So we're going to have to just breeze through these colonies. And it is indeed hitting a sort of cap on how much it can grow. And there we go. Congo's been fully colonized. So now we've got another fully colonized state here. We're not going to incorporate it, but at least the situation should be slightly better in there. But yeah, we're still hitting the max growth there. Who was this one? Oh, right, I forgot that it doesn't list what party they were part of after they died, because they're no longer part of it. Oh, and Savannah is having an uprising. Oh, there we go. So 1,240 is our current increase. Oh, and there we go. New election season starting. So who's going to be... Oh, Conservative Party is the leader. Okay, so the parties have split up a little bit. Oh, does that mean that the landowners are no longer... Oh, they want to join the Progress Party. Oh. And the non-forces want to join the Conservatives. Right, trade unions are no longer... Okay, yeah, it's... I think that's changing a little bit there. Now, how's the Suez Canal looking like? It is... They still got peasants. We still haven't got the iron mine in there. The Red Scare. This one, I'm actually going to say that they can spread their ideals. Just so that we can get potentially them into power. At least into government so we can pass some better laws. That would be kind of an ideal situation for us. Arming the natives. We had discovered that our rivals in Belgium have been arming the Yakan natives in Lower Congo. This is likely to impede our efforts to conquer the region. We're going to get a bit of tensions. I'm not too worried about that. We're definitely colonizing fairly quickly in here now. That's for sure. But I suppose I did kind of predict that, didn't I? Well, it wasn't much of a prediction. It was knowing that that would be happening. So do we actually have colonial administration? No, we can't expand anything. We can't actually form a Congo yet either. We don't have 2 states fully colonized. Wait, hold on a minute. Wait, are we part of a diplomatic place somewhere? Okay, well, we can... Oh, right, Dutch East Indies is having a revolt. Well, they're supporting a participant in there. I don't think I'm really needed in this one, though. And declare neutrality on these. So now if we want to have a look... No, they're still not... Oh, I'm not at peace right now. Well, that would be part of it. Yeah, okay. That's why we can't fall. Well, I suppose we can still create a lot of the areas in here. I don't suppose... how much would it cost the infamy again to the war against Douala? I'm going to get North Cameroon. That's 15 infamy. That's not too bad. Could probably do it. They might get Senegal to help them. But actually, I'm not entirely opposed to that either. We might be able to then give a bit more land to German Senegal. Clearly, the better Senegal. Right, so that is starting. I can probably add in another war goal to get the Gabon. Ooh, actually, so that would be, what, 7? We're actually not going to push any war goals quite yet. We'll have to see what happens, because we can wait for a little bit longer for the infamy to drop. Right, let's actually go ahead and activate this army. Get that over there, and we can also probably go ahead and bring in another army. Let's say we bring in one of the smaller ones. The LB army will do. There we go, so that should help us clear out some of this. I might let them... Well, actually, I don't know. Oh, and there we go, so I didn't get one... Wanted an opportunity. Colonists have moved into South Cameroon, hoping to build a new life in German Empire's new African territories. Are struggling to survive in the unfamiliar environment. We'll supply them what they need. That's quite a bit of money, but we've got the money. We'll lose a bit of... Oh, that's 10 bureaucracy for 5 years. It's not even 10% or anything. That's just 10. I think we're just going to spend bureaucracy, quite frankly. I think that's going to be a bit easier. Right, let's just make sure that we don't... oh, right, rivalry's broken. Ah, that's none of my business. Still seeing a lot of enemy convoys by the looks of it. At the Gibraltar. Alright, they still haven't called anyone in. They are fearful, so they'll probably just give up. But I'm going to go ahead and add the war goal for conquering Douala Gabon. Just so that we can get part of that, and then later on we can maybe conquer the rest of it from the others. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be a good idea. That gets us to almost 75 infamy. We can probably go over it. Oh, and there we go. That's the end of the war. Of course, we are committed to this one, so we can't really... Oh, and campaign financing for the Progress Party. You know what? Every party can get a bit of funding for this election cycle. Oh, there we go. Senegal's joining. Alright then. Well, in that case, we're just going to go all in. We're going to try to keep it below 100 infamy, though. But let's see. Conquer State. So it was the Douala Ubangi Shari. And then we can probably go ahead and add in some war goal from Senegal. So in Mauritania for Senegal. That's going to be another 5 infamy. Then add another war goal. We can probably go for Senegal itself. That's 13. That would get us pretty high, actually. We could alternatively go ahead and take like these 2 partial states over here. That would also open up a border with Liberia. On the other hand, we could go for the Ivory Coast. That's 11. Let's see, we've got, technically speaking, about 17 points to spare. So if we take Ivory Coast, and then we're going to add in one more war goal, which is probably going to have to be the Windward. I mean, maybe we'll go for the Senegalese Guinea. That's going to get us a 99.8 infamy. But it's still... Oh, 99.9 actually. But it's still below 100. So we're not going to get wars declared on us. But it might cause a bit of radicals, mind you. Berlin Zoo. Zoo in Brandenburg has begun to expand its exhibits, so the surge in German prosperity and leisure time. Majestic Lion, symbol of strength the world over. That gives a bit of prestige. Petit bourgeoisie would become more loyalist. The silent brown bear from the Russian tigers. That gives a bit of relation with Russia. Or a fierce mammal from the mountains of Great Qing. You know what? We'll improve relations with China. I think that's going to be a smart idea. We don't really need to improve relations with Russia all that much, but Qing, we kind of want to... Are they still... I don't suppose they are recognized yet. Yeah, still unrecognized. If they were recognized, they'd be quite a bit higher on the listing there, I reckon. Is there anything that I could do with them? I could guarantee independence if need be. How much is the bankrolling? Oh, 80. Okay, that's a bit too much. 80,000 per week. I'm going to guarantee their independence. Making sure that no one messes with Chinese, as they have been rather friendly with us. Right, so we're still colonizing 4 states. Oh, right, there's some other fighting going on in Arabia, which we don't really need to be part of. We do have already 261 million in GDP as well, so it is the highest that it's been this run. I took a bit of a drop there. I suppose it's actually going to drop again once we form Congo, but that's alright. A great nation, seeking to turn the tide of nationalism to the favor of the Progress Party. Abel Wirtz held a patriotic speech in one of Berlin's parks. Progress Party would get momentum, or they get a bit of momentum, we get some prestige. And Radical Movement pop attraction. You know what? We'll go for that one. I think the Radical Movement would actually help us a little bit. If we have a look at the things. They want to pass, well, I suppose things like the Parliamentary Republic and all that could be useful. They want no policing, which is not actually ideal. Guaranteed liberties wouldn't initially be too bad of an idea. But I don't think we need that one too much right now. But yeah, just allowing the intelligentsia to be in power, which they might get in power. I don't know, Conservative Party is still going to be leading in votes. So we'll see what happens. I think armed forces and petty bourgeoisie might... Oh, oil discovered in Congo. Well, 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 that's... Okay, it's only 3 oil rigs, mind you, but it is still some. And how is the investment pool? It's, oh, down to 27 million. It was nearly 30 million at one point. But I suppose the amount of constructions or buildings that the private sector is buying from the government is quite substantial. Consider that we got 51 million. We're just at 42, weren't we? Oh, Great Britain claims Carnatic. I believe we've got a bit of areas in here. Oh, right, yeah, that's Carnatic. Isn't this the... Yeah, German Carnatic. So this is also claimed by Britain. And so the enemy's got a ton of troops in here, but it's like maybe line infantry, if even that. So I shouldn't... no, it's irregular mobile artillery, actually. By the looks of it, so... Yeah, not exactly a huge problem there. I actually wonder, is there any more embassies or whatnot that I could try to request? I suspect that our infamy might be being a bit of a blockage for that. There we go, the reinforcements are arriving. Do we have... Oh, right, we had the other army arrive from the Far East. They're going to be advanced front. I'm actually going to send you to the other front line where most of the enemies are. Kuchian diplomatic play against us. Oh. What is this then? Oh, it's that area. Okay, well, you know what? Let's actually go ahead and send in the army that is moving through here for that particular front line then. We'll have this war sorted out soon. Oh, and Great Britain colonized Zambia. Okay, so that would be somewhere around... Ah, there it is. The litter rate is actually slowly still increasing. We do... Oh, wow, standard of living already 18.7. That is bloody massive, I will tell you. How's the... Okay, we still need a whole lot of cars, we need a whole lot of engines, we need quite a bit of opium, and a decent bit of fine art as well. To be fair, we're producing a good amount of it, I'd say. It's probably still being expanded even further. Like, oh, actually, are we expanding the fine arts academies? No. We'll start automatically expanding some of them. There is some of them being built, mind you. And I suppose we could also maybe even privatize this if need be, because that would increase the profit or the throughput overall. Burundi colonized Lindy, okay. That's down here. Oh yeah, Burundi's been expanding quite a bit in here. It's one of the nations that starts in... Well, I suppose it would be Tanganyika. But it's one of the sort of Great Lakes nations over there in Africa. Right, so what do we have here? Oh, Bishop takes Black Pawn. Let's see, people are entitled to their opinions. The momentum for the Conservative Party, or, you know what, we'll give them a little bit of momentum then. Commander commend Civic Coalition. Sure, I guess. Dancing on the Wheels. Or Dancing on Wheels. Open Center Employers Standard of Living. Or more lawless from Middle Strata and Brandenburg. I'm going to just increase the standard of living in there. It's not going to have a huge impact on the average standard of living in the nation. But it will help get a little bit of radicals, or not radicals, loyalists from the local population, at least in Brandenburg. And the war has started. Are these? Yes, these should be advancing. So, Duana Gabon should be soon. Oh, right. I don't actually have any troops in here, but I suspect that our vassal will have at least a little bit. Although, maybe not quite sufficient. Alright, election is done. I didn't actually check who won, but, I guess Conservative Party... Can we could maybe get the Free Conservative Party in there as well. Oh, and the landowners, right, they are part of the Progress Party. They don't have a huge amount of influence anymore. They're definitely losing a lot of it. So is there now a lot of... I don't think there's a whole lot of laws that we can actually change here. Since, no, that's the voting law anyway. We can't switch away from monarchy, which I guess that's fair. We could switch to ethno-state, but I don't think that's what we want to do. Popular health insurers and all that, so that's going to be fine. We could go for the colonial exploitation, but that would just cause more wars in Africa. We can still colonize very quickly in there regardless, so I don't think we need to go for that one. Okay, so how is... oh, that's already 53%. Oh, and that's now fully completed there. Let's go out and send in a bit of an army down here. I suspect that the front line over here is still going fairly... Yeah, we're taking 25% of North Cameroon already. Britain is definitely colonizing quite a bit as well. But I suppose now, right now, we're stuck to 3 different colonies. And only those 3. We can't colonize anything else currently. Visitors from the colonies. Intellectuals from Yaka visiting our capital are arguing the case that their home country is far more civilized than we make it out to be, and that our colonial designs on them are unjustified. As all affections and lies, send them back immediately. That would anger the trade unions and intelligentsia a tiny bit, but increase the tensions between us. You know what, yeah, we'll just take that one. We are kind of beating the baddies right now, but it's just, you know, we're trying to unite the areas over here before the British do. Because that is honestly just a matter of time. So we do need to get a bit more troops over here against Senegal, because those are starting to cause a bit of issue. Oh, Bengala diplomacy play against us. So that's right over there. Okay, well, we don't really need to send troops for that quite yet. I think we'll have a bit of extra soon enough. How's the fighting going in here? Well, it is going in our favor. Colonial army is still doing fine work. Oh, looks like our side is... are we actually holding in here? I don't think we will. I mean, the enemy's taking heavy casualties, mind you, but I don't think we'll be able to hold on to that. So there's the Equator South Cameroon front, so it would be this one. They've got some troops in there. I suppose... Oh, right, what's this? New money. Those members of German society who have been made wealthy by the recent boom in technological progress have begun establishing fashions of their own, and taking more and more extravagant high society function, exclusive restaurant decorated in the style of Art Nouveau. Alright then, that standard of living for upper strata goes up, and minimum expected standard of living for the upper strata. Sure. I guess what I could do is I could just take one of the smaller armies over here. Send that into Africa just in case. It might not be needed, but we'll send it there just in case. Ooh, more oil discovered in our market. Excellent. Rubber discovered in Hazelland. Right, how much is there rubber now? Up to 20 total. I mean, that's not too bad. Right, that's another war started. We should be able to clear out this fairly quickly, though. So, technically speaking, the army being sent from Europe for the second colonial war over here is probably not really needed. Because I'm pretty sure that we've already taken control of half of the state there. I think the second half will be sorted out fairly quickly as well. And we'll be victorious. We'll also be getting a lot of... oh, there we go. Already got the colonial rights, so this is going to be colonized in record speed then. Workers at the rubber plantations in South Cameroon are being severely mistreated. Mutilation has become a common punishment for perceived failures. I think we are actually not in that desperate need of rubber, so we can launch some inquiries there. Oh, and there we go. Oh, right, institutional. I think I've got that achievement ages ago, but it still gives you again. Colonial affairs investment increased to level 5. There we go. So that's going to be even well, it would be even faster colonial speed in here. But there is a max that we've already been hitting for a while now. How's the battles in here? We are actually still holding on in there. And we have started pushing back the enemy in the sort of southeastern pocket in here. Then there's, I guess, there's the western coastline and the northern pocket over there in Mauritania. But yeah, so overall things are still pretty decent. What's this? Oh, right, so that's the Bengala one. We got some troops already in there, and I think actually at this point we can just demobilize this one. It's going to be returning back home. That's going to save us a bit of money, and also some of the manpower. And where's the colonial army? That's actually, I'm going to go ahead and send you down here. Oh, and there we go. Douala with conquer everything in there. Right, I'm just going to go ahead and set up the production methods back to the usual over here. as much as possible. It might not be possible for everything, but it's at least a good start there. And there's, oh right, a lot of trade agreements that they had with the British by the looks of it. I don't think we initially need the engines from, I mean, we might need a little bit engines from France to be sure, but not that desperate situation yet. So when is the next research going to be done? 5 months for the mechanized farming. That's not too shabby. And I believe we may have gotten quite a bit of peasants and unemployed over here with these new areas. So that a lot of those might be moving around to go to places where they actually have work available. We've still got, of course, Senegal to deal with, but they probably won't last very long at this point. We'll have plenty of armies to fight them with. And we'll be getting... Oh, right, that's the... Yet another colonial war going on in here. But I do see that we are actually quite a bit over time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll show you the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.